Hello everyone, we are going to learn one of the most important and practical topics in computer science and data science, that is understanding data. Now, you must have heard the word data many times, right? In daily life, we see data everywhere. For example, your marks in exams, your attendance, your Instagram likes, weather reports, cricket scores, online shopping recommendation. So, data is not for only computers or scientists. Data is for everyone. In this session, we are going to learn what is data, why data is important, what are different types of data. This topic is the foundation for data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, business intelligence, business analytics, research, and surveys. Before we dive into the chapter, let's see the learning outcomes. After studying this topic, you will be able to understand data and its purpose. You will be able to collect and organize data effectively. You can calculate and use mean, median, variance, and standard deviation. You will learn how to interpret data to identify patterns and trends. And at the last, visualize data using suitable charts and graphs. Now, I want you to remember one important thing. This chapter is not about memorizing definitions. It is about developing a thinking skill. Because the moment you understand data, you will start seeing the world differently. Now, the first question is, what exactly is data? Data refers to raw facts, figures, or observations that we collect from different sources. This raw data can be anything: numbers, text, images, audios, or videos. Let's understand this very simply. Data is unprocessed. It is not yet meaningful until we analyze it. Data is the raw material that is used to create information. Now, listen carefully. Data itself may not complete sense until it is processed. Data becomes useful when we analyze it, summarize it, and interpret it. For an example, the number of visitors entering a library in one day. You might write 10 a.m. 20 visitors, 11 a.m. 35 visitors, 12 p.m. 42 visitors, 2 p.m. 50 visitors, and so on. You might think, why do we even need data? What is the use of data? Hence, data is important for many reasons. First, it helps us to make decisions. Second, it helps us to study patterns. It also helps us to compare results and to predict outcomes. Let's understand this one by one. The first is to make decision. Data helps us make logical and correct decisions instead of guessing. For an example, a shop owner checks sales data and finds that chips are sold more than cookies. So, next time, the shop owner will restock more chips than cookies. Second we have is to study patterns. Patterns means repeated behavior over time. For an example, the weather department observes temperature data for many years and notices that April and May are always hotter in comparison to Jan and Feb. Third we have is to compare results. Data helps us to compare values or performance. Example, if a student A has scored 85 and a student B has scored 72, we can compare and conclude that student A performance is better. And the last we have is to predict outcomes. This is one of the most powerful use of data. For an example, election predictions are done using survey data. Similarly, online platforms use our past data to predict what we may like or what we may don't like. Next example, YouTube recommends videos based on your watch history. So, data helps us in making decision, comparison, pattern finding, and to predict outcome. Now, let us move to the next topic, that is types of data. This is very important because it helps us to identify that how we store data, how we analyze it, and which chart should we use. The very first is qualitative data. Qualitative data is also known as categorical data. It describes categories instead of numbers. For an example, your favorite color, you can mention them like blue, pink, or yellow. Gender. Gender can be male or female. Feedback. Feedback can be good, average, or bad. Types of fruits can be apple, mango, and cherries. So, qualitative data answers which type and which category. Second we have is quantitative data. Quantitative data is also known as numerical data. Quantitative data is numerical data and it represents value like how much, how many, how often. For an example, marks of a student, height of a person, age of a person, and temperature. So, numerical data is perfect for calculations like mean and median. Now we go deeper into types of data. First we have is nominal data. Nominal data is a type of categorical data. It is only used for naming categories. It has no orders. For example, banana, apple, and cherry. Now, can we say apple is greater than banana? No. So, there is no ranking. Nominal data is equal to just categories. Fourth we have is ordinal data. Ordinal data has an order or ranking. But the difference between categories is not measurable. For example, movie ratings like poor, average, or good. Good is better than average, but can we say good is 2 times average? So, ordinal is equal to ordered categories. Fifth we have is discrete data. Discrete means countable, whole numbers. For an example, numbers of students in class, number of cars in parking, numbers of computer in a computer lab. You cannot have 10.5 students. You cannot have 25.5 cars. So, it is whole numbers only. Sixth we have is continuous data. Continuous means measurable values. For an example, height, weight, temperature. You can have 62.2 kgs, 160.5 centimeters, 36.7 degrees Celsius. So, continuous data includes decimal. Now, another very important classification is based on how data is stored. Data can be stored in structured, unstructured, or semi-structured way. Let's dive into it. The first is structured data. Structured data is well organized like a table or spreadsheet. For an example, student database that can consist of roll numbers, name, marks, attendance, parents' number, student mobile number. Structured data is easy for computers. Next we have is unstructured data. Unstructured data has no fixed format. For example, emails, phone, photos, videos, audio, social media comments, and customer reviews. If someone writes a long review about a phone, it is not in rows and columns. So, unstructured data is difficult to analyze directly. And last we have is semi-structured data. Semi-structured data is partially organized. For an example, JSON and XML files that are used in websites and building applications.